Hey, what's up guys? Jake with Legacy 4x4 here again, and today we're going to be doing a pretty quick video. We're just going to be doing the side pipe exhaust on my 1967 Jeepster Commando. Alright, so to give you guys a little bit of a background and to keep up with some of the small changes that have been made, I recently added an Edelbrock air cleaner on top of my freshly rebuilt Rochester 2GC carburetor. I did that honestly just because it looks good. It's got a nice white Edelbrock stamp on it. It looks nice and clean. It should do more than what I need to. This motor, like, air cleaners aren't that important, so excited about that. I think that looks good up there. But back to the matter at hand, we are doing exhaust today. I have the original Dauntless 225 motor that's been freshly rebuilt by a motor shop here in town. It is bored 30 over to give it up to in the 231-ish range for total displacement. I'm running some Hedman headers, which are designed for this motor. I've got, one on both sides, obviously, and they clear the Jeepster's frame almost perfectly. So as you can see, I had to do a little bit of clearancing with some of the ears off of the side of the frame where the body used to mount, but that's okay. I fixed it when I remade the subframe of the body, because the body now mounts on this side instead of farther out, and then the exhaust dumps right here. So my plan is generally to connect a 2.5-inch pipe to this inlet of the collector right here, and run a short piece of pipe along this frame here into muffler from Flowmaster in this general vicinity right here, with dump points right in this general area here. Pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and show you guys the parts that I have to do this project. All right, so for this project, I ordered all of my exhaust parts off of Speedway Motors. For this project, we've got two Flowmaster Super 44 mufflers. They come pretty well packaged, shipped directly from Flowmaster. I'm using 2.5-inch inlet and 2.5-inch outlet, and then just straight down the center, inlet and outlets, nice, easy, simple. I picked up 4 feet of 2.5-inch exhaust pipe. I picked up a couple of these ball flanges. These fit right over those headers, so that I can bolt what I'm doing here straight onto the Jeep over there. I also picked up a couple of exhaust hangers, just generic little ones, that I'll use to help stabilize everything. Pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and get started setting everything up. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. First thing I'm going to do is I've got to cut a little bit off of that rear ear, just like I did at the front. I'm going to go ahead and do that first, and then I'm going to cut the tubes to length. I'm going to start welding everything together, and then we'll have a finished product to show y'all. Alright, so that's what those look like, all finished up. You can see that nice little, just a 30-degree angle there. Nice clean welds all the way around. Next step is to weld on these little pieces here. Those are going to be used to actually connect this to the headers on there and leave these as a removable object off of the Jeep. So those are all now finished welded. They all look pretty good. I'm just gonna clean them up really quick with a flap disc, get rid of some of the splatter, smooth out the edges on the inside of it where it's gonna mate up to the side of the Jeep, and then we're gonna take it outside and we're gonna paint it, quick and easy. Here's what those look like, all painted up and all completely finished. You can see the little bit of a turn that's got here on the ends, and then the flange that's going to connect it to the headers. Pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to line them up on the Jeep, get them where they're supposed to go, weld in the hangers, do one more coat of paint, and then we're going to move on. That'll be the end of this project. All right. that was fun. The project is finished. Let me go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. I think they turned out great. So you can see down here, this is what it looks like. That nice glossy black. Starting from this end, this is the collector coming down from the headers, and this is the flange that the headers had on it originally. I bought a comparable flange to mate up to that, and all we did here is there's a gasket in between here. These two flanges are welded on perfectly, so that way they're aligned every time I go down here. Just some bolts that came with the flange right there, 3 of them total, with associated nuts, all painted glossy high temp black. Going from that, we're just running a 2.5 inch straight pipe straight into this 2.5 inch inlet on the Flowmaster Super 44 exhaust mufflers that we're using. And then we just have, I used a piece of scrap 2.5 inch exhaust tubing, cut a little angle into it. It's a 30-degree angle just to work as an outlet right there. It's super simple, but you can see what that looks like. It is clean. I used a high temp Krylon paint in order to cover all this up and give it a nice clean glossy black appearance. It'll kind of go with the Jeep in terms of the black, red, and gray color scheme I've got, but it'll stand out just a little bit because that's a nice glossy paint to really bring some look to those side pipes. I did keep it nice and tucked up in there on purpose. I did that so that it's out of the way when I start wheeling, that way nothing will hit it from it hanging down or being out below the frame. So as you can see down here, it is above the frame rail, so hopefully that'll limit the amount of stuff that smacks into it. But man, that was a fun little project. I knocked that out while I'm waiting on a few other parts for the Jeepster. I've got cooling coming up next, and then we'll actually be able to turn on the Jeepster. So sorry that I can't turn it on today and let you guys hear what this exhaust sounds like. That will be coming up soon when we do the first start in 2 years on this 1967 Jeepster Commando. We got a lot more coming. I think next week we're probably gonna do cooling. You can see a little teaser shot of it over there. I got the new radiator in. I'm just waiting on a few more parts so I can finish that up. It'll be cooling. And then I think we're gonna start electrical actually after that. It'll be lighting, wiring, all that kind of stuff. Should be a lot of fun stuff, a lot of big progress. But this Jeepster is getting pretty close to being able to run and idle inside my garage here. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and take care.